The value that this video offers you, the value that we offer you as a channel, is that we know who you really are, and we know that everything that you want already exists. We've already seen your vortex. We've seen everything already work out for you. And so now, from this knowing, we look at you, and we don't have the opportunity to see out of your eyes. So we don't see the resistance that's on your trail. We don't see the situation. We don't see the conditions. We don't see the fact that it hasn't been coming and that maybe it's not coming. We already see. We see that it's already coming. We see that it's already not only finished, it's already completed, because the value that we offer you, the benefit that we offer you, is that we know the laws of the universe, and there's no evidence to the contrary. There's nothing against the law of attraction. There's nothing against that law. So everything that you want, because you've already asked for it, it's already given. It's already received by you. It's already received by your inner being. Do you know that? Do you know that your inner being, the second point of attraction that you have this vibrational relationship with, has already become everything that you want? And so when you do have these 2 point of attractions, law of attraction is responding to both of your point of attraction. So it's responding to you in your physical body and you in your non-physical self. So the value that your non-physical self gives you is that your non-physical self doesn't have any doubt. So law of attraction, think about the summoning power that your inner being has for you. That's what we call this non-physical point of attraction that you have to care about, because that's what all of your emotions are about. That's what all of your desires are about. Because every desire, at the end of all of your desires, the reason why you want everything, and there's no other reason that you want everything except for the feeling of feeling good. You think that you're going to feel better in having of it, and we love that for you. We want you to feel so good, but we don't want you to wait until you feel better, that until you have the condition. We don't want you to live that conditional life, because we know that it's not going to work for you. You are a creator, and a creator must create. A creator has to ignore the what is and stay focused on the image in their mind that reality can't help but summon that. Not only summon that, but give them that. And that's what we want for you, because we know what's in your vortex. And when we look at you, we see you as your full self. We don't see you as this pinched off little human self that you're looking at in this leading edge physical environment, aka your what is, aka your condition right now. We don't look at you in your health problem, in your financial insecurity. We don't look at you in your failed writing attempts. We don't look at you in any of that, because when we look at you, we see you as a published author. We see you as the Grammy awarded singer. We see you as the actress, the actor. We see you as every single thing that you already are, because to us, you are already all these things. So now when you go and have these conversations, when you think in your mind, well, how come I'm not rich yet? We think, what's wrong with you? Not what's wrong with it, because we understand, but we think, what a strange language you're speaking, because we don't understand it. We don't compute it, because to us, you already are the fullness of everything that life has already caused you to become. And the true joy of your life experience and this journey, the reason why you came into this body, is to catch up with all of these desires. And friends, you'll never be able to fully catch up with your source energy, because your source energy literally expands so fast. Do you know that? Do you know that as a result of the life that you're experiencing, there's not even 1 second you can go without identifying new preferences, because you're living life all the time. Your receiving mode is always on, your tuner is always on. And so imagine, even when you're listening to this video, you're already having so many rockets. And here's what we're telling you, friends, is that if you have this gap, you'll never be happy. If you have this gap between who you are right now and who you are allowing yourself to be in this moment, and who you have become as a result of this moment, if there's a gap, you won't feel happy. So the joy of life is truly catching up, is filling this gap, is minding this gap, is knowing this gap, and deliberately going in the direction of filling this gap. And so we say, reach for the feeling of satisfaction. Why do you want it? Because when you talk about why you want it, you're more pure in your frequency, because we already know what you want already exists. So you don't have to convince source. You don't have to convince us that what you want, because that's not what any of this is about. This is about convincing yourself. This is about deliberately thinking thoughts that put you in vibrational harmony with your desire, so much that this receiving this vortex opens up for you, and then the impulse drops on your lap, your desire drops on your lap. Do you know how that's like almost the best way we've ever said it? It's that you literally you use the summoning power of momentum. Because how do you speed up your desires? How do you speed up everything that you want? The only way that you can do that is you have to let go of resistance. You have to, because do you know what happens when you push that car down the hill? It goes down the hill. Do you know what happens when you take the stick out of the wheel? That it keeps going. That's what we're saying, is that you've got a lot of sticks in your wheels, friends. You really have. We're saying it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter, because it's a lot easier than, well, we can show you how to make everything even easier for you. So you don't have to go to every single desire and yank that stick out. Seriously, you don't have to, because now what we're saying is that instead of dealing with all of these resistance, all the resistance in general, you can just go to the daydream in your mind. And then in the daydream in your mind, there's no resistance. There's no resistance when you're having the daydream. There's only resistance when you look back at what is, at the reality that you're seeing. Because do you know that the enemy of your desire, the enemy of this new improved version of you, the enemy of your billions and trillions, is the fact that right now in this what is, in this moment that you stand in right now, you don't have it. So when you don't have it, you look at it, you pay attention to it, and let's call it the way it is. How do you create momentum? Attention. In the most simplest form, attention is what creates momentum. And so you have to think about your desires in a way that feels good, because when you think of it in a way that feels good, you're going with the path. You're using your guidance. So you have to find a way to do that. And we know of no better way to do that than asking yourself why you want it. Because when you ask yourself why you want it, you get into the vibrational essence of your desire, meaning why do you want it? Think about, why do you want your billions of dollars? Why do you want to be the best YouTuber in the world? Why? Think about it in emotional terms, because when you're having that conversation, you're not talking about the how, you're not talking about the when, you're not talking about you're not trying to answer any questions that you don't have answers to, because we know that all you have to do is feel good. Seriously, friends, all you have to do is feel good, because everything that you want already exists. So now when you feel good, you're in the receiving one, you're a vibrational match to everything that you want. You choose the easiest stick that puts you in the vortex. You choose the easiest stick in the pile, that when you just know that when I pick this stick up, I'm going right to the vortex. It's just so easy for me to feel good. I don't have a practiced belief about it. So you know what happens? I go in the vortex, and when I go into the vortex, it's like there's a steady unfolding. Do you know that all the people that you look, the masters that you revere, at one time they were once like you without what they wanted, but since they were able to daydream it so much that soon enough the reality in their mind became so much more enamoring, and they had so much more momentum, that they just kept going to the image, and so much that the reality had to literally start giving, because reality thought, law of attraction was like, that must be the person, that must be what this person is experiencing, because they're so used to going there in their mind. This image is so practiced in their mind, so they're translating reality, so they're giving their attention, and bam, there you go, it manifests. And so everyone, the masters, they just found a way to think about their desires without feeling bad, because when we tell you all you have to do is feel good, because that's what you want anyways. Isn't that crazy? That's what you want. And so much that you get to the end goal, and then you almost feel empty, because you're like, damn, like, well, what was all of this for? Because I now have the billions of dollars, but now I almost feel empty, because I thought this billions of dollars would be the solution to everything. I thought it would make me feel good. And we're like, but see, there you go, that's what happens when you're kind of a mediocre creator. When you're a creator, not by default, but we'll say by default, because you're just, if what's in front of you feels good, you feel good. But you don't understand that feeling good is almost like not a mental game, it's a vibrational game, but you translate it as emotions, meaning you have to become self-sufficient in your alignment. You have to find a way, wherever you stand, whether it's poverty, whether it's health, whether it's sickness, whether it's complete and utter rock bottom, you have to find a way to make yourself feel good, because that's the reason why you want your life to change, because you want to feel good. But when you feel good first, then there's a steady unfolding. There is a steady unfolding, but this steady unfolding becomes mad messy. It becomes messy. It flip-flops really fast, because you start to introduce to how. You start to introduce how are things going to happen, because you don't stay purely in the vibrational essence. Because if you know what's funny is that if you stayed in the daydream and you enjoyed the vibrational presence of your desire, aka the vibrational version of your desire right now, if that was the case, then reality would have already caught up to your image. Your life would look exactly like it does in your head. The way that you're in your daydreams, your life would have matched. And so since it's not, it doesn't matter, because it can now. And so all it really comes down to is you have these desires, and it's the desires that you don't really care about that show you your power, because you think about them and then you don't ever think about them ever again. And you know what the key is? You don't ever think in contradiction to them, because you don't care about it. So when it's a desire, like when it's something really small, think about a small desire. Make a list of 5 items that you couldn't care about. Maybe they're license plates with numbers that you appreciate, or maybe it's $5 on the ground. That one's worked many times. Anything, make a list of anything random and see how fast the universe will give it to you. The universe will give it to you so fast, because you don't have a resistance to any of these things. You don't have a pattern of thinking. You don't care. The thing is, you don't care about these desires. So sometimes when we say all you have to do is feel good, drop your oars, go with the stream, feel good. Sometimes that you almost want to stomp your feet, because it's like, I want to think about my desires though. I don't want to let go of my desires. I don't want to just be happy. I want to be focused. I want to enjoy my desires. And we think that that's how we would want to live too, because there's nothing more delicious than desires. There's nothing more delicious than having something that you don't have yet, because in your not having of it, you're looking forward to the having of it. You're dreaming, you're daydreaming, you're enjoying the vibrational essence of it, and you're feeling satisfied, you're feeling good. And we're like, well, that's what we would be doing if we were creators. So in all of this, right, in all of this understanding, all you have to do is just find a way. We just want you to, because friends, this reality that you're looking at is not as real as you think it is. It's not as robust as you think it is. Sure, you can see it, but you know what's crazy? It's changing. It's changing so fast. There you go. There another now moment just went. This now moment, do you realize it keeps moving? But what kind of thoughts are you thinking? What is the vibrational content of your thoughts? Meaning, how do your thoughts think? Are you thinking in opposition to all your thoughts? Meaning, damn, like it hasn't been coming all this time. So will it ever come? You have all these styles of thinking, and we're just like, we get it though, because when you're looking at reality through your eyes, you start to come up with conclusions. But we're like, we would just go to the daydream, talk about how you want it, because you have to keep talking about how you want it, and you have to make that signal so strong that nothing else can get in, but it's like you just don't give as much as airtime to anything else. That's the key. It's not like purely getting to the place where you're just thinking about one thing, because you can't, because you're so flip-flop with your thoughts. But we think it's because you're focused on many things at once. We think it's because you can't help but live contrast. You can't help but, because that's who you want it to be. The contrast, the resistance is actually what you came to experience, because the resistance was so intriguing to you, because you're like, wow, you mean the resistance? Because what's crazy is that, like, everything, your desires, if you want it, imagine if you want it, and if you wanted it, if life caused you to want it and you never thought about it ever again, momentum would just ensue and you would get it. Because what resistance means is that this natural flow of resistance, so your billions are just naturally going to come to you, they're naturally going to pop into your experience. But then you start to think thoughts in opposition to it. You're like, well, this, that, no one has it, and so you cause resistance because it wants to flow one way, but you're blocking the flow. You're blocking the flow with your thoughts, because we're like, your thoughts really have that much pulling power. So now we're saying you can think about your thoughts, because guess what, it all really comes down to, you just have to feel good, because you want to feel good. So in your feeling good, in your quest for feeling good, exactly, because the value that daydreaming truly gives you is that, one, you enhance how you feel, and but two is that it can really let you know where you are in relation to your desires. It can kind of agitate you, it can kind of piss you off, because you're like, because you almost get tripped. Daydreaming is really trippy, because when you're daydreaming, when you're seeing these images of yourself on the beach writing this book, singing the song, acting, having all the money in the world to give to all your loved ones, and them not having any worries, or living in a big house, when because when we're talking about all those things, it just seems so non-resistant. Do you notice that? It's like you almost start floating, you almost want to keep talking about them more, because they just feel so satisfying. You're like, yes, I want some more of that. But then you come back to reality, and then reality almost by the time it takes you to get calibrated back to reality, meaning you look at what is, and you're just like, oh yeah, I'm really broke, oh yeah, I'm really poor. You almost take a stock of how everything is going, and so then you get tripped out, because you're like, it's not like you get shocked, but it's like, it literally feels like there's two versions. You really feel that you're physically here in the moment, but you also have a vibrational self. So when you go play with that vibrational self, and then you come back into this physical body, then it causes this rift. But now you're too smart. Now you know that this rift, this gap, doesn't have to be something that scares you. It can just be something that you're working towards in every moment to just make feel better and better and better and better and better. So what's like the bigger message that you can take home from all of this? What's the bigger message from feeling good? Just, that's the thing, you just have to feel good. That's how do you manifest everything that you want? How do you speed everything up? You just feel good. You feel as good as you can, because that's why you want everything. And friends, we're trying to convince you that's why you want everything, but you have to realize that your manifestations are not as fun as you think they are, because, and you know why? Because even when you have them, you're one-on-one, you're eternal. When you have them, there's going to be more contrast. You're never going to get out of contrast. You're never going to be in a place where it's like, because you think that like, oh, like once I have this money, I'm never going to be worried about money ever again. But we're like, you're going to spend that billion, and you're going to want another billion, and then you know what I mean? So it never ends. It never ends. And so you can't get it wrong. We're like, you can't get it wrong. So get in there wherever you can, and just do whatever you can, and enjoy, have as much as fun as you can, feel as good as you can. Because friends, we know your vortex. We know who you are. We know who your intentions before you came into this body. We know because we see you, and so to us, you are already these things. So when you come and bring these dissonant frequencies of being like, oh, I have these problems, we're like, well, we already see the solutions. So to us, you've already become all these things that you've been saying that you've been wanting for so many years. And so now it's time for you to talk the way that we talk, to just know that everything's working out for me. I don't know, but I just know everything's working out for me. I just get this feeling, and spend more time in the daydream, because when you're daydreaming, you're in that vibrational reality, you're translating, and then you're feeling good. Because you know what, like, you don't not think about your desire. Don't be scared of your desires, because that's not what it is. Don't even be scared of resistance. In fact, you need a fast dream, because a fast dream is really thrilling too. You need energy, you want movement. That's why you like taking action, because when you take action, you see results right away, because you're not sitting there meditating and figuring out alignment and trying to think a thought and then see the results. Because you now you know what's different about it now as a result of watching this video, and the message that you can really take home is that the proof that you're looking for, the progress that you're looking for, and this is what all this message, the leading edge message of this whole entire channel, is that the improved emotion is what you're not looking for. You're not looking for the money in the bank. You're not looking for the printed manuscript on your desk. You're not looking for the millions of views or the millions of songs or all the awards on your wall. You're just looking for, I just want to feel better now. And guess what? Use any excuse, use any subject that you can think of to make yourself feel better, to enhance how you feel right now. And there's so much more to this complex idea of feeling good now, because what does it mean to feel good now? It means that what's crazy about feeling good now is that when you have a thought, when you think a thought, and you feel good, it's because your source agrees with that thought. Your source is also sharing, is, you know what's crazy? Your source is sharing that moment with you. Your source is joining you in on that thought. So then it's actually in those happiness and upper frequency thoughts that you can actually feel the fullness of source, because this moment is so much more, and you can allow it to be more by allowing as much of your source right now to be in this moment, to become the person that we already know that you are and that we've already seen that you are. This is true upliftment, friends. This is not a place where you can bring your problems, because we already know the solution. So we're trying to get you to release your resistance. We're trying to get you under our spell. Yes, we're trying to get you under our spell, because when we get you under a spell, we can tell you about the laws of the universe. We can tell you everything that we know, so that when you hear us, you feel the resonance of source, and then you get this steady alignment thing going. And then it's like the things, not only does everything start to avalanche in, one, but two, you get it. You just like, I just get it. It just clicks for me. I just want to feel good the whole way. I just want to feel good the entire way. And so guess what I'm going to do? I am going to feel good the entire way. I'm going to pick up the easiest subject, the easiest stick. And I always think about what I want, because here's the thing. You cannot think about what you want. You love thinking about what you want. But we're telling you what you want, the list keeps going and going and going, because you think that you just want to be the writer. We're like, no, you want to be the writer that has this award. You want to learn these languages. These desires are happening so fast. So don't try to keep up with yourself fully, because that's never what you intended. You just thought that the chase and almost the journey to catching up with yourself would just be so fun moment to moment. You're like, that's the true thrill. That's where true positive emotion comes from. And we will leave you here with this message, that once again, the bigger message is feel as good, feel better, feel good, we're not even saying feel good, just reach for the best feeling thought that you can feel. Because when you're angry, what's the best feeling thought that you can reach for? Revenge. And then you can go to blame, and you go to blah blah blah, and you can start to go up the scale. So just be where you are is where you are, because you can't be anywhere else. So it has to be fine, and it is fine, because there are many avenues being opened up for you, because your inner being has your back, and all you have to do is stay on your path. So friends, we are complete now.